Alright, hey painters. So I'm back at the dining room table. So this is my January review. Again, my dog's around, so they'll be huffing, random noises, jingle jangles, so all the good stuff. So I did get five paintings of various sizes done. I'm gonna add this little baby in. It counts, I don't give a shit. So yeah, I'll talk through how much they were, level of enjoyment. I didn't really realize either that I managed to get in like 5 different brands as well. So I'll kind of go through what stood out and what didn't, and yeah, get set up for February. All right, so my earliest finish would be Twilight Bay for January. This was my first one, and I did glue it down, but it's been through the walls in the folder. I tell you. All right, so this one, again, I started it, and again, just ignored this bit. It literally got whacked. I didn't realize it bunched up under my other paintings. So this was Dreamer Designs. Let me get my little book out with my notes in. And so I got this one in September last year, August, September time. And this one cost me $49.99. I think it was one of their overseas collections, but it might not have been either. No, actually, this one might not have done. I had to do a separate order for a few that I wanted at that time, because you can order from overseas and the US in one basket. So, put this here. I'm still trying to figure out this darn systems, because it's on the left of me now, because I'm anticipating my husband back at any point, and I'm like prepared to, I have to be like prepared to pause, like, because the dog will start barking and all that good stuff. This one, I did love doing it, but now I don't know if all the crystal takes away from it. I don't know how I feel. Like, I do love her, I think she's adorably cute, and I do like the colours. So it was a nice one to complete. This one I think was before the changes with the grid. There is a little bit of gap in, not enough to stop me from doing the actual paint itself. And I do like it. Was it my favourite? No. Once I started. Doesn't stop me from buying from Dreamers, it really doesn't. The quality is still there. The crystals, drills, they're all immaculate. You still have a lot of leftovers, and it was really easy to put down. The grid's clear, the size of it was really decent for the price, and again, you've got all the up and down the sides. I'd probably give this 4 out of 5, because only simply because I'm not fully enamored by it. I thought I'd like it more, but I feel I lose a little bit of definition here with like the hair and the wings, just because of the amount of crystals. I feel like if we had a little bit less in certain spots, like here, you would end up having more definition of the hair and things. So that's just my Dreamers. What did I do next? Was it my Fallon, or was it, I think I did these two at the same time, because you know that's how people work. So I was doing, that one. I was doing these two at the same time. I'll talk about Fallon first. So I hadn't ordered from Fallon for quite a while. I was kind of waiting for a new drop. I order in bulk because when I use I always use Irish Diamond Art for the code. So when I do it, I like to do in bulk, so that the 30% off is a really decent chunk. And the shipping times and all that. So I was waiting for new ones to drop. So as soon as they did, I was in there. Crimson did send me this one for free. Like I said, I'll always be honest whether they were free or not. And I don't normally get things for free, so this was adorable. And she also remembered my preferences, which I also like. So When I order from her, I always get square and I always get the luxury canvas. I do normally go bigger too. So this one, I was curious to see how the design would actually come out with it only being a 40 by 40. Again, at the time I needed the colour blocking after the fairy, and I love orange. It's always harder to work on, if I can bring it up, the sections that have the heavier confetti, especially with orange. I was playing on my eyesight quite a lot. I do like it. There wasn't much pop-up, drill pop-up. They do ship from the same place as Sparkle Studios, so I expect a similar quality. Lots of drills, or if you ever need spares, just reach out to Crimson and she'll help you out. The canvas itself is soft. This one has, let me check on the side, I think it was 2 fairy dust and 2 AB. Don't quote me, but I think it was, yeah, the red and the black are fairy dust, and then there was like a purple and a light colour, yeah, maybe at least 2 AB. So again, there's plenty of sparkle, there's plenty of additions, but not enough that takes over where I felt it did with the Dreamer Designs. You do lose a little bit of this flower here, and I mentioned this in my review of it, and I have glued it down just so that when it's in my folder it doesn't pop, just in case. I would do that with anything this size, and I have with the Muni Made as well, which I'll go over. But again, I did actually really enjoy this one. This one will probably be like 4.5 out of 5, simply because my eyes really got sick of the orange. But for the size, I found it enjoyable normally, and all my huge order that I did 6, I think I ordered separate to this, of the new ones. They're all at least 50 by 70 in size, so I tend to go a little bit bigger just to be a little bit more forgiving on my eyesight. So again, this one, price wise, let me look. So price wise, this one was 0 to me. If I'd have used the 30% off code like I normally would, it would have been $52.50. The RRP is $75 for this one. You can say it's pricey, and I get that. If you are aware that the codes are out there, which a lot of people have codes, I do. I always use our Irishes, but mine's Amy the Diamond Painter. They're all for 30% off, regardless of how big or small your order is. So you do get a decent chunk off. So especially if you want to try the luxury canvas, use a code. I would always recommend that. And it knocked it down. It would have knocked it down to $52.50 for me. But I did order 6 others. The amount I've spent with Fallon is on another level. Alright, let me move this one. Had a busy January. I always think I've gone slow because some of these take me like a week, and then everyone's like, that's actually still pretty fast. And I'm like, well, I want to go faster. So anyway, so this baby's got mucky on the edge, but I did leave it out in the open. So this is Wing Princess. Like I said, I was doing this at the same time as the Fallon. I was kind of struggling because I was up a lot. Like this morning, I was awake at 4 AM. So I came downstairs to work on my first Valentine's one. And I was doing that a lot with this. And these sections, there's a lot of colour block in here. So yes, DSC also does colour blocking, not just small companies. This one, I loved her. But again, this was the first DSC I really had issues with drill pop-ups. And it wasn't the odd one or two. My drills were sliding, they were popping up, and I was rolling them, I was gluing, and they were still flying, and I was like, oh my lord, I'm gonna have to stop working on her, which is why I started the Fallon, because it was like, it's frustrating to go along, do a really nice big section of colour blocking, and then for everything to just go pew, and I'm like, there's only so many times I can be okay with that. Let me just get a sip of my brew. Oh, this is my new, oh, I don't know if I can tip it or if you can see. You are so loved. I show it to my husband instead of telling him. Because I'm autistic and we're special like that. And I can't be arsed sometimes. Alright. To say it, not to actually love him. That's ridiculous. All right, where did you come from? Oh no, there's a drill. Ah. No, doesn't exist. It's okay. There's no hole anywhere. So I love her. She's beautiful, but the slipping and the sliding really took a lot out of me. And I was messaging people. I was again messaging Irish that I was getting frustrated because no matter how slow I went, or it would always be like I'd place, and I'm a careful multi-placer, and then I'd place, and then I'd put like one in, and then that would make the entire line go. And I'm like, why is the glue being this way? And I have seen a few other people that have mentioned that they've had a lot of sliding issues. So hopefully this was a little bit of it's not an older kit, but it's new to me naturally, but not too old that should be a problem still. So hopefully that gets sorted. This one was $54.99 dollars. There wasn't a code I used on that one, or any points or anything, and it wasn't at Halloween, I don't think. I do have too many DAC orders to go back through. There's not an easier way of dragging it out because it was quite a few months ago that I got this one. But she fit into my angel fairy vibe. I'd give her a 4 just because of the slipping and sliding and the frustration that it got me. I do like the fact that it was 26 colours only. But they're used really, really well. Like the toning to her body is just, and the light and the dark, I love it. That's probably the best part of it, is the fact that you have the quite light dark juxtaposition. I love it. So that one is a 4. That one is the biggest one of the month. 56 by 69. It's not huge, but she done. All right, this one, I waited so long for this little cutie to come back into stock. This is Munimade, Cute But Psycho, by Cute But Weird, and she's a 30 by 30. Everything about this I love. I love the pastel background. I'm a sucker for pastel anything. So, and the word anything that's kind of tongue-in-cheek or can be perceived to be like kind of sarky or a bit bitchy, I love it. And especially with the fact that it's on a cute background, it just makes it cool to me. This one has 15 colours, but there is 2 ABs in there, so they do add a really nice, but it's not too much. Like, it's in the little stars here, and then the blade and tail, or stinger. Stinger, is it a tail? I don't know. And that one was $35. For me, that's completely worth it. I know it's a 30 by 30, but for me, hands down, it's one of it's easily, I hate to say, easily my favourite to complete the month that I did. Simply because it was just a joy to do. And they always work. Like, I glued this one down, but just knocked the stand, and then try and get in close with this one. But yeah, I love this one, and I was like, oh, I can do that in like a day, because I set the most. I know some people are like, why would you try and do that? It makes it not enjoyable. But for me, with my hyper focus, I need to set myself a goal, otherwise I could easily just switch off and never pick this up again. So I have to give myself goals every time, and it is enjoyable for me. This is the thing. My husband's like, why do you do them so fast? Blah, blah, blah. It is enjoyable to me for me to do them as I do. Like, I get in a rhythm, I have a routine, and the tism side of me loves a routine. So for me, easy. This one would be a 5. I did have a couple of rough days when I was doing it, but that was me personally. I wasn't very well. But I love her. Easily my favourite. And Munimade is probably my favourite shop currently to purchase from. I need to do another look. I do have about 8 sat there. So I can have a look, but not necessarily buy, because they're always in and out of stock. So if you do go on there, try and like do it when there's plenty of stock. There's a lot that sell out and you never really know when they're going to come back in. So it's a pick and mix kind of vibe. This one, when I checked, I think it was today or yesterday, they are still in stock. So this one is a beautiful one to start with. And even the plastic cover sheet, I think they're also made in the same place as Auraloa, because the cover sheet and the actual canvas and everything like that have the exact same kind of vibe. But even the cover sheet is really thick, a thick plastic, so it's just nice. It doesn't tear when you don't want it to, but I definitely recommend. So yeah, the Muny Maid, the baby little Muny Maid is my favourite for the month. And number 5 is Pastel Night Sky. Now these are a sticker, so I put it in my new diamond painting journal. This was $7 off Amazon. I'm not spending, I've seen so many, and I'm not spending 30 bucks for a book where I just jot things down. So you literally have, I'll bring it in close, you have all this info that you can jot down if you need to, want to, a picture, notes, and you got plenty of them. I don't see the point in spending $30 or whatever. So this is the little pastel ones. Now this is by Alvera over at Diamond Delights. I think it's my second or third order from her. And these ones have been out of stock for the longest time. So when she did a full store restock, I got these, and I think one of the new ones as well. I missed out on the last ones that look like this in the other new order. So I kind of bought 4 or 5, as you do. This one to me was $13.50, and that was because you get a automatic 10% off with 3 kits or more, which is automatically added when you check out. Otherwise it would have been $15. Again, it can be expensive. I'm not saying it's like cheap for a sticker painting. But again, there's, I need a brew, I'm gasping. Look at that, all this like talking. Plus I don't want my brew to go cold. Heartbreaking if that happens. Okay. Ooh, that brew is nice. Alright, so it's cute. Little bit of gapping. If I bring it up, you might be able to see. Round about here, little bit of gapping. I really enjoyed it again because I've just said this one's pastel and I adore it. That's why these ones are cute to me. And I know that I think they're from Cross Stitch into Diamond Art, which I always appreciate because my mum and my gran have a cross stitching background, so I couldn't get into that. I went to like drawing first, and then I went to watercolor, then I went to charcoal, then acrylic, then back to charcoal, and now I do this. So I've kind of gone on a little bit of a trek through mediums, but I've always had an arty background. And I did just order some Hoo-Hoo. Please don't crucify me. I am probably aware that I've said that wrong, but I got the markers that everybody's been talking about. Don't tell my husband either, because I'm hoping he just thinks they were really cheap, but I kind of got them from Michael's. It's Michael's fault, right? Because they sent me an email being all like, oh, like, there's these art supplies on thing, and I always look, right, which is just straight up stupid, and it was like, they're buy one, get one 50% off, right? So I was like, oh, I love a cheeky bargain, innit? So then I looked them up, and it was like 100 and odd for like $120. And then there was Honolulu B, I think, and they were like $130, so it was like half price a thing. So, and then I had to get a pack of like 20 odd. This is exactly what I sound like when I explain to my husband. And then I had to get a pack of 20 odd like skin color ones, and I was like, oh shit. Then so it was like $231 for markers, and then 40 bucks for some for colouring books. Oh my days, I'm going back to like kindergarten or like preschool. What did we used to call it? Nursery and shit. Like, oh my days, he's gonna murder me. But that's what I'm branching out into, so I'm gonna add that into my diamond paint, because some days I want a diamond paint like all day, others I don't even want to look at it, and I don't want to burn out and, like I said, like get annoyed with my hyperfocus. So yeah, I am currently working on a Sparkle Studios Valentine's one. It's called Coral Heart, which I bought. It was part of my first ever order from Sparkle. So that is a work in progress. I think I'm posting my first picture about it tonight. I like to have backup images and content, but then I forget the images and content that I do have. I'm gonna leave them out, I think. But then after that, I do have Love Potion, the DAC. I might do an unboxing of that. I haven't decided yet, if you all are nice to me. So I might do that. But then if I finish the Sparkle Studio one, I might do... I've had this because of my washi tape one. I might do this Fallon Gems one, because Vibing with My Demons is an absolute... It is a vibe. So yeah, that might be my next one. Or it might be Love Potion, because I feel like it. Alright, I hope that sorted out your nosiness for this month. I will probably do these like monthly, and then as like at the end of the year, if I'm still doing YouTube by then, because I have no idea. You all sometimes like me and you don't, so whatever. I mean, it is what it is. So yeah, so that was my January. Maybe in February I do a little bit more. I'm kind of hoping to, but we will see what Valentine's Day brings us. But there we go. All right, thank you guys so much for joining me. And if there's anything else you'd like to see or stores to recommend, just drop me a comment and I will try and purchase if I haven't already. All right, thank you.